The Crosstown Classic is back again, an inner-city rival like no other. Sox fans, Cub fans, this series was circled on all of our calendars. Whatever your allegiance, US Cellular Field will be rocking tonight. The Crosstown Cup is back up for grabs, black versus blue, north side and south side next. We are coming to you from the city beautiful, Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frasier, Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Joe Madden's crosstown rival, Chicago Cubs. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the first of what is going to be a four-game series. We'll have two here, then Wednesday and Thursday, two over at Wrigley Field for 4 consecutive days with these guys. But the Sox coming in a good mood, picking up a big doubleheader victory yesterday. They won the morning game and won the afternoon game. And, of course, the catalyst in that was Adam Eaton.
There was no doubt it was a hot day. It was a day where the Sox dearly needed a couple of wins, and they got just that because of Adam Eaton. This one through the left side. It won the first game. It took less than an inning. And then Adam Eaton hit a 3-run homer. That was good, but it wasn't quite enough because Melky shoots it into left field. Adam Eaton, who was aboard, well, he scores. And so 2 for the price of 1 as far as the Sox are concerned. And it was a good day yesterday. Looking ahead to the Cubs, this is always a special series. I think everybody is really excited about it.
Well, you and I have been around for an awful lot of them, and certainly one of the biggest events of the year, the Crosstown Classic, and it's always good.
Well, there's no doubt that this is special, and as you can see, the White Sox lead the series by a small margin. They've led it here by 4 games. They won 5 of the last 7. And by series, the Sox have won 10, Cubs 4, 5 ties. Sox have the cup. That means that the Cubs have got to win to get the cup. And Gonzo going to the mound. Miguel Gonzalez been throwing it real well lately, and hopefully tonight no exception. Take a look at his last 4 starts, and you realize that he's changing eye levels. 4 quality starts, 2.77 ERA, and as you can see, just 17 hits in 26 innings. Now on the other side of the equation, Jake Arrieta, who's one of the best in the business, has had a tough time recently. Although he's 12-4, he's winless in his last 3 starts. You'll know early. If he gets it over, if he's ahead of the hitters, he's going to be awfully tough. Last year, the Cy Young Award winner can be brilliant, but hopefully he'll struggle some. This is a beautiful night for baseball and hopefully a great night for a win.
Well, there are countless moments, of course, from this inner-city rivalry, and tonight we'll write another chapter. So sit back, relax, and strap it down as Sox Cubs in the Crosstown Classic coming up next.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. White Sox fans, text lottery to 89269 now for a chance to win 4 scout seats and an on-field player meet and greet for August 26th, courtesy of the Illinois Lottery. Remember, that's lottery to 89269. Be sure to watch the drawing in the second inning of tonight's game. Let's take a look at how Joe Madden is going to line them up for his Cubs tonight. Dexter Fowler, the DH, leading it off. Then it's Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, who's having a banner year with Zobrist, Contreras, Hayward, Russell, Montero, and Javier Baez at second and hitting 9th. The Honda City defensive setup and how Robin is going to line up our Sox. It's Melky, JB, and Adam in the outfield with Frasier, Anderson, Saladino, and Abreu in the infield. Leandro Navarro once again behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Miguel Gonzalez, who's been throwing it very well lately. Despite that 2-5 record, his ERA at 4.41, on for his 15th start, his 16th game. The numbers aren't quite as impressive as he's been pitching lately. He's kept the ball in the ballpark, and the last 4 starts have all been quality starts. The umpires for the game tonight: Scott Berry behind the plate, Al Gibson at first, Hunter Weddlestead at second, and the crew chief Jerry Lane is at third. So on a gorgeous night for baseball, we're ready to kick it off against the Cubs for 4 straight games. Dexter Fowler back in their lineup, healthy now, and we're ready for baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball Lacrosse Town Classic. First of 4 against these Northsiders, as Dexter Fowler, switch hitter, stands in, and Miguel Gonzalez with the first pitch of the ball game. Taken for a strike. Cubs come in with the best mark. They've won more games than anybody in baseball, and they've lost fewer. They're 59 and 38. That's low. There he is.
One of the most unusual managers, last year's manager of the league of the year, and his second year with the Cubs, and he's a good one.
That ball hit hard, right at it. Hank Wolfram, Dexter hit it right on the money. Well, things that Joe Madden is doing now, in my opinion, 5 or 10 years down the road is going to be the norm for a lot of other managers.
Let's try to loosen everything up and try to make sure that you take the pressure off your players to have those theme road trips and everything else that he does that everybody thinks is strange. It's not all that strange when your team is leading baseball in just about everything.
He did the same thing down in St. Pete with that stuff he was running out there then. They had less pressure on them than any other team in the American League.
They also were the most overachieving team probably year after year.
That's high and deep. And caught! Melky with a perfect leaping time. Comes down with it. Mercy!
Can't do it any better than Melky just did it. That ball looked like it was going well out of the ballpark. That wind is blowing straight in. It's the only thing that kept it in the park. Miguel Gonzalez gives him a tip of the cap. And Melky goes back, feels for the wall, and then times his leap. He's measuring it all the way here. He knows where he is. He goes up in the webbing of the glove. He takes it away.
A beautiful play. A stunning catch by Melky. Taking home run number 26 away from Chris Bryant. And here's Rizzo. Rizzo at 284, 24 homers, 75 knocked in. Between Bryant and Rizzo, they got 140 RBIs.
Well, these two guys can both do it, and the fact that one is right-handed, one is left-handed, makes it really tough in the middle. And Joe Madden said he put Zobrist behind Rizzo, hoping for him to see more pitches.
Outfield bunch just a bit. And you got Saladino out there in short right field. It's a good thing he's got a good arm.
Can't get too much farther back without playing right field.
You know, play your arm. Cubs come in hitting at .255 as a club with a 3.29 team ERA. 29 and 22 on the road, 30 and 16 at home. Three and 1 to count. Sox in this series all-time lead it, 55 up, 49 down. Just off the plate, says Scott Berry.
And Rizzo not afraid to take a walk. That's 51 of them this year. And he's second on the ball club. Surprisingly, Ben Zobrist leads the way in taking walks.
Well, this guy was just a tremendous. Of course, Madden had him in St. Pete. He knows what he adds to a ball club. Tremendous pickup for the Cubs. Ben Zobrist. He's one of those guys. It's not what he hits, it's when he hits it.
And the fact is, you can pretty much play him anywhere you want to on any given night. He's going to give you a really good effort wherever you put him. And his career has been good, but probably doesn't show you just how valuable he is.
That strike just catches part of the inside corner. Count evens at 1. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center.
Zobrist a switch hitter, and like most guys, better hitter right-handed, much more power left-handed. And talking with Joe Madden about Miguel Gonzalez, because he faced him a lot when he was in Tampa Bay and Miguel was at Baltimore. He said he always liked him because he always thought he had a pretty good idea about what to do with the baseball and how to throw it, move it in and out, up and down. Said he was a very smart pitcher.
Good rip. Zobrist underneath it. One thing we found out about Gonzalez, that he was a good pickup.
I thought it was a great pickup.
Zobrist trying to take that ball hard into left field.
When I was coming out of the office with Joe Madden, you were coming in. Did you find Joe particularly happy today after the addition of Aroldis Chapman?
Yes.
I thought he looked really happy.
Well, we both felt like they were the best team in the National League. And because of the addition, not that Chapman's going to be the end all, but they're better now today than they were yesterday.
Well, when you consider that Rondon was pretty good, I mean, 195 ERA, 18 saves, but now they make Rondon a premier setup man to Chapman's closer, you're real strong.
2 out, 1 on, 2-2 the count.
Probably the best part about that deal was that they didn't have to give up Baez. They didn't have to give up Schwarber. They gave up a pretty good shortstop in Gleyber Torres, but he's a few years away yet.
There he got a cookie. And just a little too quick on it.
And take a look at what he's done this year. The record, not relevant for a closer. The ERA pretty good. The strikeouts, well, just 44 of those to 8 walks. Of course, that is in 31 1/3. And having just been timed at 105 plus miles an hour, he's going to be tough to deal with.
Close pitch, didn't get it. And a full count.
These guys are also very familiar with one another because of Zobrist's days with Tampa and Miguel's days with the Baltimore Orioles. Zobrist hasn't fared well against him.
Bayou now playing behind Rizzo. And right to the bag. And that'll do it. No score thanks to this tremendous catch by Melky.
Melky Cabrera. Melky Cabrera in interleague play has been terrific. That's Abreu, Morneau, Frasier, Shuck, Navarro, and Saladino to round it out. The Honda City defensive setup for Joe Madden and his Cubs. Contreras, a catcher in left field with Hayward and Zobrist in the outfield, and it's Bryant, Russell, Baez, and Rizzo in the infield. Miguel Montero behind the plate. Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jake Arrieta, last year's Cy Young Award winner. This year had some problems with his location for a while. Chris Bosio feels they straightened it out. 2.60 ERA, 12-4. He's been awfully good.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as the first pitch to Adam Eaton taken for a strike. Sox come in hitting at 255 as a club. With a 3-point, check that, 251 as a club with a 4.02 ERA. So Russell's got him, 1 out. Now, when you get a guy like Arrieta, from a hitting standpoint, one of our guys, they have to realize that there are going to be certain days, now not you conceding everything, but you got to, the better the pitcher, the more of the place you got to concede. The better the pitcher, the more credit is. There's a soft line drive caught by Baez. But you got to, they are due the respect. And what you have to do in this situation is know that sometimes when you're facing a Jake Arrieta or a Cy Young Award winner, you might go 0 for 4.
What I like about the early approach is that they're looking for a fastball early in the count. They're swinging at it because they realize when he's right, his wipeout slider or breaking ball is, you know, it's a slurve. It's just not hittable.
What's that old saying?
Get him early or you don't get him.
That's it. In the count, too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Here's Cabrera. Melky at 301, 9 homers, 44 driven in.
Arrieta's kept the ball in the ballpark for the most part. 7 home runs in 122 innings. That's outstanding.
Well, you have to have a plan against this guy. You cannot go up to the plate just looking for the ball. You have to have an approach on how to be dangerous. CSN Chicago is giving you the opportunity to win tickets to the Crosstown Series finale this Thursday. Just head to csnchicago.com/crosstown and vote for your favorite Crosstown memory for your chance to win. Sweepstakes ends tonight, so make sure you get your vote in. And there's ball 4. It's another area that you have to be aware of. You got to try to get him on that fastball, but you also, if he's going to walk you, let him walk you. You got to get some base runners against this guy because it's awful hard to stack up 3 or 4 hits in one inning.
No, and another thing about him is he's got 7 wild pitches this year. And one more thing that they give you with this combination, Montero does not have a great arm.
Here's Abreu. Takes it down low. Jose at 273, 11 homers, 55 knocked in.
Montero goes out there and has a word with him because Miguel knows him very well. And one of the reasons he's catching tonight and not Contreras, who's playing left field, is he feels that he has a good idea about when he loses that release point. Chris Bosio telling me that he has to stay over that back foot a little bit longer. When he does that, he's excellent.
2 of the best pitching coaches in the game in this ballpark tonight.
Yeah, I think they've both gotten just about as much out of their respective staffs as they could possibly get. You look at Don Cooper on the other side, Chris Bosio. They have a lot of talent to work with, certainly, but they've also made just about everybody they teach better.
Slowly hit, softly hit, right. And that'll retire the side. After 1, there is no score. Six, and that's courtesy of the Illinois Lottery. That's lottery to 89269, and be sure to watch the drawing at the end of this inning. Contreras, Hayward, Russell. Not many seats without a Fanny in it.
No, wonderful crowd tonight. Standing room only.
First pitch strike.
Contreras has a chance to be very good. They knew he could hit. The question was, could he catch well enough? That seems to be answered. But also, like Joe Madden does a lot, he puts him in left field when he has to. Last year he was the Cubs minor league player of the year. He hit .333, so they knew he could swing the bat.
nice little approach up there. 275 overall minor league hitter. He gone.
For the game, Paul Konerko threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Got it over the plate. And we're going to have a chance to talk with him. It's coming up. He'll be sitting up here with Hawk and I. We'll be able to tell him just how appreciative everybody is toward him, but also ask him how life is without baseball.
That's foul back by Jason Hayward. Last year in St. Louis at 293, 13 homers, drove in 60. Well, Paulie saw him throw the strike there. He was one of the most accurate throwing first basemen we've seen in, I don't know, 50 years.
Well, you've seen that a few times. A guy who was a third baseman, was a catcher, goes to first. You never know how it's going to work out. With him, it worked out very well.
He became an excellent first baseman.
He could pick it out of the dirt with the best of them at first.
Yeah, you may have tied him on that, but you weren't going to beat him on it. There you go.
2 strikeouts, both on the split change. And Hayward, who's having a disappointing year, you would say, was hitting in the 2 spot. Joe Madden moved him down to the 6 spot. But if you haven't seen that split change a lot, you're going to have trouble with it.
Well, that's the thing that I was looking at going over the Cub ball club. I follow them quite closely throughout the course of the season. And they still have a lot offensively of upside left in this ball club.
You're not kidding.
So 1, 2, 3 inning. After an inning and a half, nada.
.com, presented by The Great Escape. It's pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape.
Home half of the second inning. Morneau, Frasier, and Shuck face the 30-year-old right-hander out of Austin, Texas. Jake, 6'4", 225 pounds.
Dustin swung the bat pretty well against him when Dustin was with the Colorado Rockies. He saw Jake Arrieta a bit.
Does that one right on by him. I got a text in between innings there saying, don't you think you're conceding too much to Arrieta? That was my buddy Jim. No, Jimmy, not at all. As I said, the better the pitcher, the more you got to concede. Yes, there's out number 1. First thing is you go up there with high expectations against good pitchers, and chances are they will make you lose those high expectations in a hurry.
Well, when you looked at last year and you watched Arrieta pitch at 22-6 with a 1.77 ERA for a full season, it was magnificent. 150 hits in 129 innings, and if you go up there trying to cover the whole plate when he had the control that he had last year, you're not going to do much.
Takes strike one, hitting at 210, 28 homers, 64 driven home.
Arrieta started his professional career in 2008 at Frederick with the Baltimore Orioles.
There's a breaking ball strike. You gotta take part of the plate, either the inside, outside, up or down, one of those quadrants. You're not going to cover them all four against hardly any major league pitcher, but especially against good ones. And you got to zone in on that quadrant that you've got covered. And as Steve mentioned earlier, you're not going to do anything with that slider here, so you just take that out of the equation. Now, if he hangs it, that's a different story. Then anybody's going to be able to hit that.
Time he tried to get a little something extra on the fastball, got under it, something that pitchers will now go back and think about how that was delivered and adjust. If you get under any of your pitches, they're going to stay up.
Soft two-hopper.
Time now for the greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. And it's Jake Arrieta. With the Orioles, as you see, not much. But with the Cubs, on the other side of the page, 48-17. Overall, 234. You look at the rest of the numbers, they're just unbelievable, and nobody really knows when the light is going to turn on. But if a guy stays healthy with a good arm and as big as strong as Arrieta is, the light turned on for the Cubs, and they made a great trade.
Well, if you recall, the last start he made against us when he was in that Baltimore uniform, he was awesome. We had no chance against him.
No, he always had a great arm. And what they were able to do is something that's going to happen now. You trade some of the future for a deal of the present. They wanted to get to the playoffs. They wanted Scott Feldman. They also wanted Steve Clevenger. And so they traded Pedro Strop, who's a big member of their bullpen, along with Jake Arrieta, and 2 international spring bonus slots, signing bonus slots. And so they got a great deal. It looked like the Strop hadn't accomplished that much yet. It looked fairly one-sided. It turned out it was only one-sided for the Cubs.
0-2 the count. One, two, three inning, and we'll go to the third. Still no score.
field was presented with a number 14 by Jeff Samardzija, that commemorating his number the last year he was going to play ball, and he still has that number 14. And here's a very familiar face to Sox fans.
Well, I'm sure you've heard it a lot lately. You want a new uniform? You want to go downstairs?
I've been in town. I've heard the all the action. Yeah,
you look great.
Thank you.
Playing that hockey, huh?
I have been all the way till I've been here about a month now. Me and the family, we came back, and I said we were going to be spending the summer somewhere else, and it fell through. And I said, let's just go back to Chicago. I've never spent a month and a half straight here with nothing to do. I wanted to play some golf and play some courses I never got to play and all that. So we did it, and it's been great.
Montero. Count 1-1. Well, it's always nice to see you, Paulie. Paulie, of course, that was one of my memorable moments the day he left us. And so many great memories. People, you're still the most asked about player. You know, when I go out and play golf, people say, tell me about Konerko. Tell me about Konerko. I used to love to watch him hit. And I said, well, he's one of the greatest fastball hitters in the history of the game. It's just that simple. You make 3 good sliders like Arrieta can, and you grab some bench.
Absolutely. I tell guys that all the time. I say, I played the game for 20 years professionally, and here's what I know. I was adequate at best in the field, mostly time below average. There was not one off-speed pitch that I ever felt good on. Get fouled. Oh, I'm going to go right size, wrong shape. Can I say it?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. I tell people, I played 20 years in the game, and I couldn't play defense really, just enough to get by, and felt bet on every pitch, breaking ball, change-up, slider. I said, so you tell me what's important in this game. Getting on that heater, that's what matters. I said, you know, because you got pitchers out there, they're taught to get ahead with it, and you know, you're gonna get fastballs, and even some of the ones that don't want to throw it have an ego enough that they're gonna want to throw it. So I just try to stay ready for that. And that was that.
That's what, you know, some of the guys ask me about it. I say you got to cover the fastball.
Always.
You got to cover the fastball, because if they hang it, that's a different story. But when they throw it, I can't name you, Paulie, in all the years I've been in the game. I can't name you 5 guys who I could say were great breaking ball hitters.
Right.
All the great hitters are fastball hitters.
That's absolutely true. I mean, there was a couple guys that would get by, I think, by knowing when to lay off fastballs to get a slider or kind of finagle their ways. But it's tough to have longevity with that, because there's just too many good fastballs out there, and they're going to force you to hit it. And as soon as they know you can't hit it, then look out. They're going to keep pumping it in there.
Montero's retired, one out. Well, since when you came to us, and then the last 3 or 4 years, did you find out that those 7th, 8th, and 9th innings were getting a little tough to hit at?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it used to be when I first got in the league, it was like, hey, let's knock this starter out and get to the bullpen. And then towards the end of my career, we would start hitting around the starter, and everybody would say, hey, guys, take it easy here. Let's let this guy get through the 6th and 7th. Like, let's keep this guy in for one more turn around. Don't hit him too hard. Yeah, definitely a lot of the great arms. I think it used to be the long guy in the bullpen, or the last 2 guys in the bullpen were kind of guys they would just, you know, journeyman guys that would stay on the team. And then it kind of turned into the high draft pick who didn't really know how to pitch yet, but threw 1,000,000 miles an hour, and they would keep that guy because he was with the pitching coach and everything. So you'd start getting guys who maybe weren't great, but it's stuff you didn't want to hit off of, you know, and now it's everywhere. The 5th starter.
There's a Kansas City special.
Yes, it is. Behind him. Oh, no.
That'll be a single and an error.
So tomorrow night, Aroldis Chapman, who was just traded from the Yankees to the Cubs, is going to be at the ballpark. Do you miss the challenge of maybe facing 105 plus from him?
I do. I mean, I used to always look out. Again, I said earlier, like, there wasn't too much I could do in this game or I could excel at, but I never feared and never shied away. Anybody who played with me knows that. I wanted guys who threw hard. That was what I looked for. I would look at the rosters, and you know, that's what I look for. So although I know it'd be a battle against him, you know, I always had a pretty good attitude about it. It was pretty much, if he gets me out or he happens to throw one by me, I just kind of fit in with the rest of the guys he's throwing balls by. But I always saw the advantage of, you know, what if I turn one of these around? That's going to be more of a story than if he strikes me out. So I always went in there carefree, and I felt good on it. My swing was short to the ball, and I just, I didn't fear guys throwing hard. I liked it.
Any indelible memories that you have from the Sox-Cubs series, because you played in a lot of them?
Oh, yeah. I think it's great to see the ballpark tonight. There's some electricity here. It's packed. I think the last few years, along with all of interleague, kind of, gets a little bit worn down. But my years here, especially in the early and mid-2000s, man, it was the best. I mean, it was like a playoff game, if not better than that. Certainly, obviously, those mid-2000 games. Of course, the Barrett game was a highlight / low light. Hawk's son got punched in the face. And, but no, I mean, those were great games. We had a good team. They had a good team. It was all. I remember the first one we had. I remember Mike Caruso hit that home run to win the game. We were like, a bunch of young kids, and we swept them on their side. That was a great series. I mean, there's so many great moments.
I had forgotten about that too. You mentioned it.
Yeah, there was so many. Every game you could count on a moment. Like, it could have been someone getting hit. It could have been a big homer. It could have been a fight between teammates on a dugout. It could have been really anything. So it's good to see that it looks like it's kind of, at least tonight it feels like it's in the air here. So we'll see the fights in the stands, all that. In the end, it was all great.
Well, I remember when Mags had the ball lost in the ivy out there. Is he gone? 2 down. And another memory I have is when you got hit in the face and still didn't want to come out of the game.
Yeah, that one I had to. That one I couldn't see anymore out of my eyes. So, but I just remember I believe, and I'll always say this, that it's big for both fan bases, but I feel like it's without question bigger for our fan base. They seem to really dial in on these games, and so, I knew you had to kick it up a level, and these games really mattered. So I was as nervous before these games as any of them.
Outfield straight up, spread out, spaced about equidistant, as here's Bryant. High fly ball deep in the left field. His first at bat.
Thought that was going out of the ballpark, but a great play by Melky. Going up over the wall and catching it and bringing it back in.
Looks like the wind's blowing in tonight, which is kind of odd on a hot summer night. Usually it's blowing out of here, right?
Yeah.
That's not right.
That ball ripped into left field one. So here they're going to hold him now. The good thing they did is they're going to go get him. All right, now come home. There you go. Good throw. He gone. Now he's gone. Yeah.
That's how we drew it up, Hawk.
All right, Paul, you'll be with us for another half inning here.
So he throws it in, and then Bryant gets hung up. Saladino comes back. The initial tag is not made, and then it's kind of, well, I'll move around until you either tag me or I hit the plate. Baez misses the plate. And then DeHonor puts the tag on him, and the call by Scott Berry, and the inning over with 2 hits and no runs.
So here's Navarro. They'll be followed by Saladino and Eaton. No score, bottom of the 3rd inning. 0-2-0 for them. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for us. Navarro hitting at 208, 0 for 3 lifetime against Arrieta. But, you know, people always say, Hawk, you've seen so many things here since you've been with the White Sox. You know, one of the things I'll never forget, now it'll never happen again, in my opinion, is that's high in the center field are 2 guys hitting their 300th home runs back to back. Now that is something to talk about.
What are the odds, right?
Oh.
I mean, it's astronomical.
It's unbelievable.
Astronomical, yeah. It was a good, and you know, that time, I think it was about, you know, 8, 10, 12 games into the season, and Jermaine and I were both scuffling. They were getting some hits, but we were trying, you know, we were trying to hit home runs. And so, you know, before that game, it had gotten to like we hadn't hit one each in like 8 games. So I think there was maybe some money thrown around on who was going to do it first. And so he did it because he was hitting before me in the order, and then, but I didn't let him enjoy it either.
There's Saladino down the line. So Tyler, you can cancel a post-game show. A 1-out double.
So yeah, it was. He hit it, and I, you know, before he knew it, he didn't really even get to celebrate the dugout too much before I hit mine. So even though I lost the bet, I felt like I kind of got back at him, stole the show from him. But that was great, great teammate, and obviously a great moment for both of us. It was a lot of fun that day.
And of course, the big year.
Yes.
05.
05.
Qualls. Hits. Yes. And here's Adam. Adam grounded out to short. Takes that pitch inside. And of course, talking about that grand slam home run. As we will see it after the 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Poof, here it is. I thought Brian Anderson was going to just have a heart attack after that.
That's the thing, you know, back, you know, in playoffs, your teammates, you know, when everybody's together, there it is.
That's going to get him in.
Hustle.
And the Sox take a quick 1-0 lead on the base hit by Adam Eaton.
Adam had a big day yesterday, figuring in both wins, and this time he had a little cutter. It was down and in, took it into right field, and Zobrist does not have the normal right fielder's arm. And so, after the Saladino double, Sox on the board first. Your good luck, don't go away.
Yeah, maybe. We were having a talk before the game about that. They were saying that teams, you know, like in the history of the game, you know, a team who scores first, it's like whatever the percent is, 60-some%, but it's climbing and climbing because of how good these bullpens are, right? So
exactly
like in another 20 years, it's going to be like 80% of the time the team that scores first.
65% right now.
Yeah.
But if the home team scores first, it jumps up to 69%.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're right, the bullpens have just changed the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah, you got to get those hits before those guys get in.
Anderson 0 for 1, hit a line drive, soft line drive to second base. You hadn't seen much of this kid.
I've been watching him on TV. He's great, huh?
He's got some good hands. He reminds me a little bit of your hands.
His arm, too. I mean, I saw him the other night from his knees in the hole throw a ball all the way on the line.
Yeah.
You know, athletes like this, like me and him, Hawk, don't come around very often. You know what I mean?
Well,
so when you get him, you got to really cherish him.
You had speed like he had.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll tell you that. Paulie and Gus Triandos. And AJ, we got to throw AJ in there. After that Barrett game, I told AJ, I said, AJ, I said, I saw you in action today. I said, Barrett hits like a little girl. I said, you do that with me, I'm going to lay you out.
I think he was a little stunned by that one. That was.
He was shocked by it.
I still tell people, World Series, anything aside, the loudest maybe moment in history of Chicago sports was when he got punched. I never heard a crowd. I wish they would have just measured what that was. When he got hit, this crowd went absolutely nuts, and it was just a free-for-all out there. And add to the lore of AJ and the Sox.
Scotty Pods was out there.
Scotty Pods got right in the mix.
Yeah, he did. He's going to be doing some post-game shows with our Chuck. I saw Scotty Pods today.
Oh my God. That reminded me like when two dogs, when they kind of just are around each other and they're real still and they don't know, and then all of a sudden one of them snaps. Yeah.
All right, 2 out. And here comes Melky. Melky walks back in the first inning. Of course, another one of my things that you were there for was the catch. Mark Burley's perfect game.
Unbelievable. Wayne Wise. Great catch.
Oh, boy.
Great. I mean, everything about it. And he had to get the perfect jump even to make it that good. It was just a great day. Burl's one of the best ever.
He is. All right, buddy. Listen,
all right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
If you want to play, give me a buzz.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Paul Konerko, our captain.
To look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
1-0 good guys here in the top of the 4th inning. Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist, and Wilson Contreras. Shift is on. Yeah, Paulie was some kind of fastball hitter. Wow. When you were talking to him about Chapman, I was thinking he would have loved that.
I was going to say that.
He would have loved that.
That'd be the classic matchup. The guy with the biggest fastball in the game against one of the game's great fastball hitters. Yeah. I think both guys would have enjoyed that matchup.
Yeah, it would have been. And the fans would have too. 2-1. Yes, he did. I remember Joel Zamaya before he hurt his arm with the Tigers. He was throwing 101, 102. He threw probably a 101-mile-an-hour fastball in Detroit. And that ball left the park in a blink of the eye.
With that being a high fastball, I believe.
It was. That's another good point, because a lot of guys are pretty good low fastball hitters. Very few are real good high fastball hitters.
Getting on top of
That's
something
exactly
102,
right.
that's pretty tough. Pretty tough indeed.
Got him.
Rizzo didn't like the call of Scott Berry. In fact, he's letting Scott Berry know about it. And now Scott Berry's telling him one more word and you're leaving the ball game. So.
And Joe is telling him, hey, come on. Scott knows he's not going to let something like that take one of the better players out. Unless it got real bad.
Well, I think one more word and he might have gotten rung up, but
that might have been the real bad one.
But Joe Maddon, he quickly went out there and said, okay, we'll settle all this down.
Zobrist got it out. One hopper to Abreu.
Miguel can use that cutter both backdoor, which is the outside corner to a left-hander, and inside. And there was the inside one. He said he came up with that cutter because he couldn't get his fastball consistently inside the left-hander, which is really the toughest pitch for a right-hand pitcher to make, because if the ball tails at all, it's right into the sweet spot for the left-hand hitter.
One out, 3-1 to count. And there's ball 4.
Friday, August 5th. Come see our White Sox take on the Baltimore Orioles at 7:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Contreras struck out on a change.
He expanded his strike zone the first at bat and did on the first pitch. Nice stop by Deanner, making sure that that double play is still in place. Contreras has grounded into 5 of them in just 113 at bats. That's a pretty high total. Zobrist 4 out of 8 the stolen base department.
Ball hit hard off the glove.
Would have been 2 but wasn't. And that goes E5. Whole different scenario. You turn 2 there and it's out of the inning. It's a 1 hopper. And ball just gets away. Seventh error of the year for Todd Frasier.
Hayward also struck out on a changeup. Takes ball one. And we'd like to welcome all of our viewers in the Des Moines Ames viewing area watching on DirecTV. Gap out there in right center. That evens the count at one.
Hayward's got good speed, but he has grounded into 9 double plays this year. He's an excellent defender, whether it's right field or center field, wherever Joe Madden uses him.
Softly hit. And again. Now they might want to look at that one. But he says no. All right. Now they're going to wait a second more.
Well, the question is for Contreras, does he want him to look at the play at second? Play at first looked like they got him by a half step. Take another look. Saladino. Oh, he's got second base. The bag for sure. The question is then first. Looks safe at first.
Yeah. But the call was out, so it has to be definitive. Boy, that is really close. Wow.
It is that. It just looked like the foot was on the bag before we saw the glove go back. However, because the call was out, might catch one with no conclusive or definitive proof.
And if you're just tuning in, we scored a run last inning. Double by Saladino. And now he says he's safe at first. So that'll be runners at the corners. With 2 out.
One of the real good young players in the game, Addison Russell, just 22 years old, came over from Oakland originally. He was their #1 prospect. They got Jason Hamill and Jeff Samardzija.
Now Robin wants to. Gary Lane, crew chief, coming in from third.
It looks like what happens is, and what Robin is talking about is, did Contreras make a legitimate slide and a legitimate shot at the bag? So there's Contreras. Anderson trying to get the throw off. Contreras did not touch the bag. And maybe what Robin would like is an interference on the slide. This would be a very interesting call.
Yes, it would. Well, I think you had to be close enough to grab it with your hand.
Yep.
This could be a very huge call. So evidently Robin is satisfied. As it appeared to be the correct call. Here's Russell. He went out to Adam Eaton in right field. Just a decent lead by Hayward.
One of the reasons why they could make that trade and give away a talented youngster in that Chapman trade, Gleyber Torres, is because at 22, Addison Russell figures to be around a long time. And Torres, very talented but very young shortstop.
Jacks it up. Valentino's got him. And the side is retired. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth, still leading 1-0. Visit WhiteSox.com/pick to click and decide who you think will be the winner of the next White Sox position player of the game. There you see the choices. J.J. Shira, the coach. Mike Ditka, the coach's wife, Diana, and I, we're going to go with Tyler Saladino. So here is the Abreu, 1-0. Sox on top. That's slowing away.
You know Paulie as well as just about anybody. After getting some distance from the game, where do you see him coming back to the game? In what capacity?
In many capacities. Options, I should say, is a better way to frame it. He's got a terrific mind. Knows the game of baseball. He can slice it and dice it. So that's an option, as far as TV goes.
Could you see him in a front office role?
Yes, I could. Yes, I definitely could. There's that ball hit into right field. They got a man there on the edge of the track. Yeah, the options that Paula has is Great reputation.
Oh, he's got that.
Great reputation. And the one thing I would not like to see him do is come back as a hitting instructor, because he would drive himself crazy. I mean, he would. As Morneau can't get it. One of the prettiest right-handed. You know, we always talk about pretty players being, for the most part, left-handed. There's a shot. Right into the left field corner. So Morneau now on his way to second base. He will pull up and get back in. And a good thing he did, as Contreras got it back in. He'd have been a gone goose.
Well, Contreras has a great arm because he's a catcher. And he does have the versatility of playing there. And I talked with Joe Madden about using different players in spots that they don't come up playing. And he said, look, Contreras had played some outfield. He said, I feel for tonight's game that Montero behind the plate for Arrieta was a better choice. But he said, I wanted Contreras' bat in the lineup, and he can play left, and you saw the arm. He's got one of those.
So here's Tide grounded out to his counterpart. The ball gets by, so now Morneau into second.
Foul pitch number 8. We told you about leading the team in that department, and Montero tried to backhand it. So it gets away and puts Morneau in scoring position.
Oh, and you got a slider like he's got. You got the stuff that he's got. He's going to have some emphasis.
He is going to have that. Montero did not do a real good job of sliding over. He tried to backhand it as he was getting up, and no chance at all for that one. Frasier did not like that call, but it'll even the count.
Outfield, they're straight up, spread out, spaced about equidistant, and fairly deep.
That went flying. Joe McEwing will do the honors. Trying to locate the baseball. He knows where the bat went.
One, 3, and 2 for our guys. 0-2-0 for their guys. First of 4 in a row with these Cubs. Tomorrow night here, then Wednesday and Thursday at their place.
Going to be an interesting choice of Kensman for Robin tonight, because you don't want to use Jones.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
You don't want to use Robertson. So he's hoping for a long outing, certainly from Gonzalez, and then worry about who's going to come in via the matchups.
First priority of a manager today, bullpen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, especially in the situation that happened. You get the suspended game. Get David Robertson, who was out there 3 different times in less than 24 hours. That's a lot of work. It's a big workload in a very short period of time.
You guys got a piece of it? Yeah, despite the physical aspect of it, the way the club's been going, it's also the mental aspect of it.
When you get a shot at Arrieta, you best cash it in. And the base hit, the wild pitch, with an opportunity to score at least one more. You don't want to miss too many of these chances. Cubs have a high-powered offense.
Blocked nicely there by Montero.
He went to the hook, and Montero did it well. He didn't try to catch it. He just blocked it with a chest protector. It trickles in front of him, and Morneau cannot go anywhere.
Two down.
Well, you would have loved to hit the fastball, because if he gets that over, you're not going to hit it. Bottom just dropped out of that. 81 miles an hour. One of the reasons why he had the kind of year last year that he had. And when that's a strike, and you're hitting right-handed especially, you got problems.
Well, that pitch has come into vogue, so to speak, or been a designer pitch to a degree. That's up the middle. And they get him, that'll retire the side. We're into the fifth. We lead at 1-0. It's taking a life of his own, so to speak. You were a breaking ball pitcher that you would allow guys, especially right-handed hitters, according to the count, to get themselves out with a curveball in the dirt, because you had a catcher that you had a lot of faith in. In your opinion, it's done a heck of a lot more today than it was 20 or 30 years ago. Today, you talk to pitchers, and they'll talk about throwing the curveball in the dirt, like it's designed like it's a splitter or some other pitch.
It is, because number one, there is no fear of the strikeout anymore. You know, in your day, in my day, guys prided themselves on making contact. Today, many times they view a strikeout as just another out, and so they're more able or likely to go after a pitch like that.
Yeah, that's into right field. He didn't pick it up, and it falls in for a base hit. He broke back on it. Yeah, that in essence was what I was trying to frame it. Is that today they're letting the guys get themselves out more than in years past.
Yeah,
they don't challenge the guys as much.
Well, I just think that with guys thinking about hitting the ball a long way and not worried about striking out, you find much bigger strike zones on hitters than you used to. Just that's the way it is on a daily basis.
You see guys today striking out in two quads. The two most powerful quadrants for strikeouts are up and in and down and away. That's into right field. He's got the beat on this one. Baez is retired. 1 out. In case you're just joining us, we have not exactly played what you call a good defensive game so far, but we still fortunate enough to lead at 1-0. Here's Dexter. He is lined out hard to center, and he is struck out.
Matt very happy to have Fowler back and healthy. He viewed his loss as being one of the big catalysts for his team, starting to go on the skids for a while.
Dexter last year, 17 homers, 46 knocked in, which the numbers aren't that impressive, but he had some huge base hits for that ball.
And at the top, especially when you're looking at Bryant, Rizzo, and Zobrist behind him, if he gets on, times a night he's going to score.
Goes through it. 1-2.
He had a right hamstring strain back on June 19th. That pretty much coincides with exactly where the Cubs, who were red hot, looked like they were going to win it by 15 to 20 games, still might. But at that point, looked like no stopping him, and then the Fowler injury, and he fell on some tough times for a while.
He gone.
So that was a good pitch, and Dexter Fowler jumped back trying to buy the call, but Scott Berry rung him up. You see where Navarro wants it. Good movement on that fastball, especially late. Caught the inside corner, and Fowler, for the second time, strikeout victim.
5 strikeouts now for Miguel. And here's Bryant, who has hit it very hard twice. Once getting robbed of a home run, Melky Cabrera going up and bringing it back in. And then a line shot single into left field.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay. And just highway robbery. Chris Bryant thought he had enough of it. He almost did, but for the heroics of Melky.
Oh, 2 the count. Checks it up. Busting it down that line. Meanwhile, we're halfway home with a 1-0 lead. Boy, that's a handsome crew. Scotty Pies, Todd, our Chuck, man, big female audience.
Yeah, our Chuck kind of kills it, but the other two guys, handsome guys.
I didn't want to say it. Navarro. Tony, I'm sure you have been getting the same thing as I have. Everybody asking me about the Chris Sale incident.
Yeah, that.
Well, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, and what I have been telling. Actually, people all over the country have been calling. That's been the story nationwide, not just here.
No doubt.
I am a Chris Sale fan. I am maybe the biggest fan outside of his family he's got. As that ball's hit, that's fair. Nice pick. And did he snap? Sure, he snapped. But there's not. We all snap as athletes. And if you show me a guy who doesn't snap, and I'll show you a guy who really takes losing easier. But he has become, if not the leader, one of the leaders on this ball club. That's my personal feeling, and he's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful human being, one of the nicest young men you ever want to meet until he puts that jockstrap on and goes to that bump. Then he becomes a virtual tiger out there. Now, on the other side of the page, Hawk, would you trade him? And my response to that, I've never seen a player you couldn't trade.
Look, if you get the right deal, and it has to be an overwhelming deal, then you trade not only Chris Sale, but anybody that you have. But I have a hard time seeing that overwhelming deal coming. But trade him because of what he did? Absolutely not. That should have no bearing, and I don't think it will have any bearing on the Sox decision. I mean, they suspended him for the 5 games, undisclosed amount of money. I think the White Sox did the right thing, and Chris will come back.
I do too, yeah.
I think when Chris comes back, he's going to come back with every bit of fire that he had when he left. And we should see him at Wrigley Field on Thursday.
That's one of the biggest assets he has is his competitive spirit. And one of my good friends, who is one of the better baseball minds around that I talked to today, said if they were to trade him, if the Sox were to trade him, it wouldn't have to be a home run deal. It'd have to be a grand slam deal.
Home run and a half. Yeah, there's no doubt that if you're going to move him, it better be an organization builder for you.
Chops that one foul. Tyler with a double and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Picked up his 4th 2-bagger. Tyler filling in for Brett Laurie. They're doing a nice job.
I think he's done a terrific job wherever they've decided to play him.
He's a good player.
He's a good player with surprising power for a guy that doesn't get consistent at bats.
Watch out.
That rifled into the Sox dugout. Get that curveball inside. Fortunately, everybody's okay.
Nice pick. Nice pick. Nice play.
Adam Eaton's base hit in the 3rd inning drove in the only run of the game, and with that, first White Sox run, E-Click Lending has donated $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families. For Bryant at 3rd, that was really a good play because he came in, he smothered the short hop. If you wait back, guy with the speed of Saladino, you might not get him.
Adam 1 for 2. That RBI picked up his 35th RBI, hitting out of that for the most part. One hole most of the year. Either 1 or 2. That's out of play.
Well, Robbins said one of the reasons why he wanted to put Eaton back in the 1 spot was that he has long at bats. He works at bats. Tim Anderson at this point of his career has short at bats because he wants to hit the first pitch that he's thrown that looks good to him, and that's fine, but that's not a one-hitter most of the time.
Curveball hangs high.
Adam, for his part, says he prefers the one-hitter.
Well, that's one of the advantages of guys hitting 3rd and 4th. If they've got a leadoff hitter or a 2-hole hitter who fouls off a couple pitches, sees 7 or 8 pitches, boy, it's such one of the worst feelings you can have as a hitter against a good pitcher, especially like Arrieta, is have leadoff man see 1 or 2 pitches. The next guy hits the first pitch. Now you go to the plate. All right. We have completed 5, still lead at 1-0.
Orioles on Saturday, August 6th at 6:10. First 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox retro batting practice pullover presented by Coca-Cola. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com. Those are handsome pullovers.
Here's Rizzo.
Had a night of no contact. Walk and a strikeout. Wasn't too happy with the call on the strikeout.
Questionable pitch. I think we got a break call.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's right on top of the plate, and that's your preferred style of hitting.
It's amazing how many guys cannot stand close to the plate.
What will allow you to do that?
Well,
but besides courage.
You start with that. Yes, some guys, you just know that some guys, if they stood closer to the plate. And I'm talking about right-hander against right-hander, left-hander against left-hander. You know they'd be better hitters because they could cut down 1 or 2 of those quadrants that we talk about. Here you go.
That was a good split change, and Rizzo expanded that zone. Goes down on strikes for the second time. This ball is well off the plate. Rizzo chokes up all the time, which is something most home run hitters don't do. And a big first out here in the
Yeah,
sixth.
that's 6 strikeouts for him. 3 of them coming on that split change. Zobrist grounded to first and walked. And if you're just tuning in, did not see Paul Konerko threw out the first pitch tonight. He looks terrific. I mean, he really does look like he could go down and put the uniform on and play. Of course, but that's Mike Leary says that hockey kept him in shape, and that's exactly right. I mean, if you're going to play hockey, you're going to be in shape.
Well, he loves to play it. We did see earlier when he first started to play in the offseason. We saw some highlights of that.
All right, take it yourself. 2 down. Even on skates, I don't think Paulie would have picked up much speed.
Well, that is a really tough sport to play. And you're right. You don't see many fat hockey players.
I went to see a minor league hockey game a couple of years ago. After watching, the Hawks all the time, and it looked like those guys were actually skating in sand compared to the NHL.
Oh, yeah. But didn't you say that you went down and saw some of the Bruins when you were playing for the Red Sox?
Oh yeah, we. In fact, I hung out with the Bruins more than I hung out with the Red Sox. Bobby Orr was just coming in. Bobby and Derek, Turk, Sanderson, 3 of us hung together pretty a lot. Played a lot of golf together.
Just skate with them though?
They got me on the ice one time, and they were passing as I was skating. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, and I was skating, and they were passing the puck between and I got going so fast, I couldn't stop, and I hit the wall. At the end.
Well, that'll stop you.
That was quite a pair. Bobby, whoa, what a player. Turk was one of those guys that just ticked everybody off.
Sanderson was a real good player when he was
great
with the Bruins.
He really was.
Yeah.
Just off the plate, good call.
Looks like Contreras is trying to pull just about everything. So if he throws that cutter just about the same spot, he's got a good shot at getting it.
Full count. He has walked 2 tonight. Rizzo in the first and Zobrist in the fourth. Watch out. Can't get him.
I think it was a question of the top of the bat went flying and nobody could pick up where the baseball was to start with, except Contreras knew where it was and he beat out an infield hit. Top of the bat goes flying, and I think at first Miguel was looking at the bat, so he didn't identify where the ball was right away, and it cost him the base hit, and the inning stays alive.
It's amazing sometimes when you make contact what happens. Here's Hayward, the strikeout, and hit into a 4-6 fielder's choice. Outfield slightly to the left. Takes a strike.
Take a look at Miguel's head and where he looks when the bat goes flying. He sees the bat. He looks off to his right. Doesn't realize that ball's in play, and that cost him the base hit. The inning stayed alive because of that.
Two and one. The 26-year-old outfielder. That's fair. Now they're going to hold the runner at third. So Ducks on the pond and 2 out. Amazing what happens when you make contact. Kansas City special.
Yes, unfortunately, about a 30-foot hit has led its way to tying and go-ahead runs on as Jose has that one go right under the glove. Don Cooper now going to come out. And he's going to have a talk with Gonzalez.
Well, I'll tell you, this guy at the plate scares me. I mean,
this guy at the plate's a terrific hitter.
He got a chance to be something special. I mean, he's 22 years old with 56 RBIs. Had 54 last year in limited duty. So he is not afraid of driving a run.
When I talked with Joe Madden last year about Addison Russell, he said, go shake hands with him, talk to him, and get a feeling for how big and how strong his hands were. And that's the one characteristic that I've seen. You see great hitters, all shapes, all sizes, all widths, but they all have really strong hands and wrists, and Russell falls right into that category. This is a very strong young man.
Yeah, he is dangerous. And they're talking about just how dangerous he is with first base open.
Well, he's also fanned 89 times, so probably what they're saying is try to get him out of the strike zone, and if you don't get him, you don't get him.
Yep.
There was one out of the strike zone and a good straight change.
Or don't let him beat you on a fastball in the zone.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea also.
That was one of Lou Pinella's, when he was managing, that was one of his, I'm not going to say philosophies, but I will say it was one of his pet things to tell pitchers. Don't let this guy beat you on a fastball in the zone.
Not a bad philosophy to have.
No. You heard what Paulie was talking about. Chops that one foul.
Get another off-speed pitch. That one caught the middle of the plate, but because of the speed as opposed to location, he was able to foul it off.
And another guy that did the same thing was one of the best managers that ever lived for a long time, and that was Billy Martin. Don't let him beat you on a fastball in the zone.
Fans here on their feet. That time he reached back, tried to throw a fastball up and in by him. Not a bad idea. Maybe a little higher would have gotten him. But he couldn't get much of it, just enough to stay alive. Sox fans want to see the third out.
He gone! Yes! Pitch is out of it, and we'll go to the bottom of the sixth, leading 1-0.
.333 with 3 home runs, 6 doubles, 9 driven in, 16 runs, 11 multi-hit games, as opposed to on the road in 15. Now we're going to throw it down to Sierra Santos, who is at low third. She's got a little more on Tim Anderson.
Yeah, Steve, Tim Anderson made his big league debut on June 10th, but already he's not the new kid on the block now that Carson Fulmer is here. The two rookies sat next to each other on the plane ride back from their West Coast trip. Fulmer told me he hit Tim with 20 questions. Where do I stand? Where do I order food? Just the basic things you need to know when you start any job. So I asked him, who filled you in when you got called up? He said, JB Shuck. So it's all come full circle. Hawk, Steve, I'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Sierra, thank you very much. Has 1-1 to count to Tim. And there's a look at JB. He was just talking about the young, strong hands on good-looking young hitters. Well, this is another one right here. He's got strong hands and a strong pair of wrists.
He's really started off in a very impressive fashion. Whether he hits 1 or 2 doesn't seem to matter to him. He just wants to get a fastball, put a charge into it.
Ball just jumps off his bat. Ball comes off his bat the same way it comes off Addison Russell's bat.
Can you teach lively bat, or is it's there or it's not?
You know, it's either there or it's like a lady. She's either pregnant or she's not. No close.
No, almost.
Full count. No, those are gifts from the big guy. They had a guy that just went into the Hall of Fame yesterday that had some of the strongest hands this game's ever seen.
Mr. Griffey? Oh, Piazza, Mike Piazza.
In fact, Don Drysdale told me that, and Frank Howard played with Don, told me that Mike Piazza had the strongest hands he's ever seen. Nah, that was quite a statement coming from Double D. Toss that one foul.
Would love to get Anderson on base to lead off an inning, knowing that Montero does not have the strongest arm around. It's already gone against what Tim usually does. It's been a 9-pitch at bat.
Toss that one foul.
Harriet is starting to miss. Not the strike zone, but Montero wanted that one low and away. He set up low and away. Harriet threw it up and in. Normally that's a sign of a guy that, even at 72 pitches, for whatever reason, he's missing his spots, and that's usually a good thing for the hitters. Join us when our Sox face the Orioles on Sunday, August 7th at 1:10. First 15,000 fans will receive a White Sox water bottle presented by the Village of Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. Visit whitesox.com to purchase your tickets today.
And I want to send a big White Sox shout out to a good buddy of both Steve's and mine, Tom Dreesen, watching out in L.A.
It's 42 today.
I'll tell you what, I don't know anybody that loves Chicago more than Tom Dreesen.
And he's a funny man.
A lot of us love it as much, but nobody loves it more than Tommy Dreesen.
Harvey, I believe, originally. Harvey,
yeah.
Illinois.
Yeah. Melky can't get it. He has walked and grounded to short. tags it up, takes a strike.
During the 9-game hitting streak, Melky hitting .368, playing a good defense, 4 extra base hits, 3 driven in with 5 scored. Been a good run for Melky in every aspect of this game.
Yes. All right. That's the second walk issued by Jake Meister, and both of them coming to Melky. And here is Abreu. Grounded to third. Going out deep to right.
Looks to me like this might be the first inning that Arrieta looks vulnerable. Only because he had a hard time putting away Anderson. Couldn't hit his spots. A questionable last strike, although he got the benefit of the pitch, and then walking Melky. So Jose hit the ball very well last time up, taking Zobrist all the way back in the middle of the track.
Now field straight up, spread out, a little bit of a gap out there in left center. If you're just tuning in, we scored a run back in the 3rd inning. 1 out double by Saladino. An RBI single by who else? Adam Eaton. As he takes up high ball 1. Just off the corner. So 2-0. He got the catbird seat. Justin Morneau, the on-deck hitter. Oh, a little bit up, maybe just a little higher.
Arrieta gets one up in his eyes. He gets lucky on this one. Maybe a shad, maybe just a touch lower. That wouldn't go a long way.
Yeah, he was all over it, just underneath it. Good eye. 3-1. First of 4 in a row against these guys. One more here tomorrow, and then 2 at their place. That's the only thing bad about scheduling. 4 in a row night games on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday against. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, it really is. It's just brutal. There's a shot base hit over the head of Baez, so Melky will pull up at second. Count got him.
Here's a chance against Arrieta. Jose with his first hit. Got a low fastball this time. Taking it just over the head of Javier Baez.
You said it. This is the first inning, really, that he has looked vulnerable.
And Chris Bosio coming out to talk with him.
Chris got a pitching staff over there with a 3.29 ERA.
He's got a whole lot of talent on that staff. Just got a little bit more at the back end, which makes that bullpen much tougher with Aroldis Chapman in the closer role. So he's had his say with Arrieta.
Well, you're talking about a competitor, Chris Bosio. He would compete with you. And of course, as we mentioned, 2 of the best pitching coaches are Don Cooper and there's Chris Bosio in baseball in this ballpark tonight. So here's Morneau. He's 1 for 2. Hit a ball, looked like it may go for a double, but not with the arm of Contreras.
That's surprising that starters ERA, the lowest 4, are all in the National League. Cubs, Nationals, at the top.
Well, you saw that DH in the mix, and it changes the whole dynamic.
It's a complete different situation because you don't have that many powerful eighth hitters, and then of course you've got the pitcher in the ninth spot. Arrieta's starting to fall behind just about everyone.
Yeah, up in right center. Makes a good pitch. Give him that one.
Contreras over toward the line in left. And if he can get out in front of one, he can run all day. Justin Grimm starting to get loose as Arrieta to deliver his 90th pitch.
Oh,
that was the pitch to pull in the gap.
Yep. There was a good pitch for Justin to hit.
He got that cutter, and unfortunately he fouled it back.
That was a spiral. Two on, one out. Lights that one off.
Another example of where Montero wanted that ball inside, and Arrieta threw it right down the middle. Take a look at Toyota pitch tracks. You see where he's setting up, and he gets away with a fastball, carving out the middle of the plate.
And nailed him with a high curveball. Says Scott Barry.
It's not a real good call. Take a look at the height on this.
No. He missed that one.
Now Montero will tell you, watch what he does with the glove. He brings it back in, and Orno frustrated. So he leaves it up to Frasier. Got to get something done here.
Todd is grounded to third and struck out swinging at a curveball. Lately has thrown some bats.
Yeah, he's been out front of a whole lot of pitches, and hopefully everything is okay on that one.
Boy, Tony Oliva, great hitter from Minnesota Twins back in the 60s. Threw more bats than anybody I've ever seen. They had to put a strap on his wrist that he had to get rid of quick when he put it in play, which he put it in play a lot. That ball hit hard. Way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Hell
yeah. Dick Arrieta rolled that ball right in the middle of the plate, and it went straight out in center field for Arrieta. Just the 8th home run he's given up, and it's a 4-0 lead. There's the roller. There's the homer. The 29th. He's driven in 67.
Chuck takes up high. And of course, with that home run by Todd Frasier, another generous donation to White Sox charities from Alex Nellis. All started with that 1-out walk. Big gap out there in right center. Tell you what, 127 innings and only 8 home runs.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is, really.
That one bounced up and bit JB, so hopefully he's okay.
And you got to figure pitching in that ballpark. The weather has been hot.
One out of the zone and bounces up and gives him a good shot. 100 pitches, and this inning he's missed a lot of his spots, and it's cost him.
Hits the mound, gets a bad break right there. Cost him a base hit, but the 3-run homer by Todd Frasier. Todd Frasier. His 29th, and we lead it 4-0.
Play Charlotte tonight. He went 3 2/3. He did throw 58 pitches. That's all the Sox wanted for him to do. Gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, a couple of them earned with 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So as long as he was feeling good, you don't care about the numbers and what they are. But 58 pitches was good. He pitched into the 4th inning, and hopefully he will be back in the not too distant future.
All right, Miguel, put those in the bank, buddy. Still 0-0. And go get this guy, Montero, leading off. Nope. Picks up his 4th double.
Goes after the first pitch, and this one he missed his spot also, and instead of outside gets it inside. Montero with his 2nd hit.
And here's Baez. He had a single, soft single, and a fly out to right.
The pen up and going. First time for the Sox. It's Zach Duke.
It is 4-2.
Very dangerous Cub team, and they've got some thunder. That's the 10th home run of the year for Baez. He's driven in 35, cuts the lead in half. Ford home run replay. That looked like the split change. It didn't do a great deal. And he took it out.
Yeah, this is a quick strike offense they have. They can get you for 4-5 in a hurry.
And Cooper wants to know if Zach Duke is ready. That's what the call to the pen was.
Yanks that one foul. Does with 125 home runs. That's going to be caught. Ate him up. 1 out.
Don Cooper talking with Robin Ventura about what they want to do with Rizzo and then Zobrist, who's a switch hitter. They come up after Bryant.
Rips that one foul. Four, 5-2 for our guys. 2-7-0 for their guys. He gone.
And Deanna called for it. He wanted it there. He got it there, struck him out, and that's going to be it for Miguel Gonzalez, who was very good through 6 2/3. Deanna anticipating because he called for it. He wanted that changeup in the dirt. Bryant goes down on strike. Going to be the last man that Miguel is going to face. A terrific job. So Zach Duke comes trotting in from the pen. And to a great round of applause, Miguel Gonzalez will leave this one with the lead. service experts called to the pen, and it is Zach Duke. He's going to look in. And Anthony Rizzo, he's 2-0 on for the 51st time. He's been the busiest man around, ERA 272. And you've got the switch hitter, Ben Zobrist, in the on-deck circle. A fine performance by Miguel Gonzalez. 6 2/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts.
A terrific job. He has really been good.
Well, the last 5 quality starts consecutively, and tonight he was really good and will make that 8 strikeouts.
Rizzo out and around it. So the count 1-2. You know, he just didn't make many mistakes tonight.
No, I thought, everything considered, the magnitude of the ball game, he just went out and threw very, very well.
He made some really good pitches.
That pitch he froze Russell on to get out of the 6th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd was as good as it gets. Very interested spectator now, Miguel Gonzalez.
$39,510. So he's gonna end the inning, but the 2-run homer. 7th inning stretch, we lead it 4-2.
Gonzalez had just about everything going for him. The split change was outstanding. He was able to freeze a few of these Cub hitters with that fastball. That came back over the inside corner. The split change, this one a big one. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. He freezes Addison Russell, and then last man he faces, Chris Bryant. On the split change, he departs to a huge ovation. And Jake Arrieta is out of the game. So he becomes a spectator, as does Miguel Gonzalez. And it's Justin Graham on for the 44th time, ERA up over 5. Probably a few more walks than he would like in 32 innings, 15 of them. And he's got a 2-run deficit.
That'll play well. Go back to our half of the 6th inning. You said it when Tim Anderson was hitting.
Yeah, it looked to me like,
yeah, you said it.
He just was losing a whole lot. And fortunately, boys made him pay, so an easy first out. So all you can ask from a starting pitcher in this case, it was Gonzalez and it was Arrieta. All you can ask is outpitch your opposite number. Your opposing starting pitcher, Gonzalez was able to do that. So now, as you have mentioned many times, it's a battle of bullpens, and we'll see if the pen can get it done, because the Sox pen has been used quite a bit.
Yeah. So here's Tyler. Scored our first one at double. Scored on a single by Adam Eaton back in the third inning. Oh, and to the count. Yeah, Jake Arrieta without question. Well, I'll tell you, one of the best in the game. Oh, what stuff he's got.
What a trade that was that got him, and he's come pretty much full circle as a guy that was okay. Then he seemed to get a little bit better.
Well, not many guys in this game who can determine their own fate on a consistent basis 60 feet 6 inches away from the hitter, and he's one of them. He can determine his own fate. If he's making his pitches, you're going to lose.
And that certainly was the case last year. Just an enchanted year.
That's what the great Ted Williams said. You're going to run into guys that night, they're going to be better than you are.
Well, his first year, when he first came up with the Cubs, he was 4-2. That was in limited action, 9 starts. And 10-5, 2014.
Two down.
Then, of course, for Arrieta, the enchanted year was last year, and I read a few articles that just have to laugh that in order for the Cubs to win, Arrieta has to throw like he did last year. Well, guess what? He's not going to throw like he did last year, because there are very few of any pitchers ever going to throw like he did last year.
No.
177 ERA and 33 starts.
No.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. They call them career years for a reason.
Adam fouls that one away. No, there's not. And on the other side of that page, he doesn't have to throw that way for the Cubs to win.
No, they're gonna win their division, in my estimation, by plenty. Then the question is who they run into in the postseason.
All right now let's go down to Sierra on the field level.
Hey, Hawk. Adam Eaton has never been to the playoffs in his 5 years in the majors. He said he looks forward to the Crosstown Cup every single year because it's the closest he's come to a playoff atmosphere. He said he enjoys both fan bases, and he said he can basically summarize the rivalry with an example. He said last year, Jeff Samardzija was walking off the field after batting practice. Some Cubs fans were ragging on him. He was ragging on some Cubs fans. Well, he ended up tripping over a BP screen, but Adam Eaton saying it's all in good fun, the trash talking, just part of being a professional athlete. Hawk and Steve, let's go back upstairs to you guys.
Well, he's so right, Sierra. Nice job. But, you know, it's like Paulie was talking about. He always looked forward to this series because of the magnitude for which he felt like was even greater for the Sox fan. And I know you've heard it, and I've heard it from players saying, well, it's just another series, just another SBS.
No, it isn't that.
Pretty good inning right there for Grimm. Then we're into the 8th. We lead it by 2.
7th. Fans that purchase this special ticket pack can participate in an exclusive autograph session with select members of the White Sox. To purchase these special ticket packs, please visit whitesox.com/autographs.
Zobrist. A game like this, leadoff man always huge. There's a strike. Evens the count at 1. Dan 0 for 2 with a walk. And the count 1-2. Gap out there in left center. As I mentioned, 39,510. Had a piece of the plate, had a piece of the corner, didn't get it. And that's a souvenir left side. All right, Sox fans, show your team pride with White Sox checking and an official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. So go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Member FDIC. Full count. Dreaded leadoff walk.
Rivers leads the team in walks, and here comes Robin.
Dreaded leadoff walk. So Albers, he's ready down in that pen. And Robin has made the call. Duke departs, and we'll be back.
After the Sox win, you get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu priced items only at papajohns.com. When you use the promo code SOXWIN, that's at all participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Time now for the Midas Tire and Auto Service experts. Call to the pen, and it is Matt Albers. He's going to look at Contreras. possibly Hayward, although the bullpen's still up and going. As Joe Madden has stacked his lineup righty lefty, making it a lot more difficult on the bullpen.
A lot more difficult on the opposing manager as well. Having to make, anytime you got to make that other manager make a lot of decisions, it's an edge. Contreras 1 for 3, had a little squib, shattered bat, base hit. Outfield straight up, spread out, spread about equidistant. Fakes the bunt, takes the strike. About the same pitch that he had Zober struck out on.
Yeah, looking for that same ground ball that he hit back in the 4th inning and turned it into 2.
Get the 1. There you go. 1 out.
Slow chopper, good solid throw by Saladino. He's thinking about just getting the 1. Takes his time, makes the throw, gets it there, and Tim Anderson wisely doesn't do anything with it. Now Joe Madden wanted to see if Anderson had the second base bag. Dave Martinez was the guy that was in charge of talking to the video folks. And the answer was yes, he did. So we'll play on.
As here's Hayward. He doubled back in the 6th inning. All right. All right. No.
That was a very good play by Anderson because Contreras went in hard at shortstop, and Anderson, in order to get the throw off, couldn't really go anywhere. Shortstops love to either move in toward the mound or back. Right there, he's got to stay. He gets upended. They can't get it there in time. The inning stays alive, but that shows Anderson knowing that he's got to get the throw off. That's primary. Get the throw off and then take the contact.
No, that was just a good hard.
He went in. He went in exactly as he had to go in.
Just a good clean slide. Got to get by this young man. He's 0 for 3. Addison Russell takes first pitch strike. He'd like to have that one more time.
Jason Hayward, 8 stolen bags in 11 attempts. Stems don't run all that often. 41 steals in 23 attempts.
That's off the plate. Count evens at 1. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for us. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for them if you're just joining us. Two and 1. Interesting note on Russell. 12-game hitting streak exclusively out of the 9 spot was the first in the National League since 1924.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. Post pitch, didn't get it. And the count 3-1. Montero on deck. Second walk of the inning. Puts the tying runs aboard.
Now the question for Robin is, do you want to go to the left-hander? Because if you do, you're probably going to face Matt Caesar, I would assume, coming off the bench. And Robin not very happy with the calls of Scott Berry. Thought that at least one of those, at least one of those was a strike, but doesn't get the call, and so it's going to be Albers for the moment against Montero.
Well, he had Zobrist struck out. Scott Berry missed the call. Ball had the plate. Montero's 2 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. Overall, Scott's had a good game behind the plate, but he's missed some here.
Saladino way back on the grass. Anderson up the middle, playing as a pull hitter. Matt is trying to do is throw that sinker away and have Montero roll over it and hit it to the right side.
Had him out in front of that one. That change up at 83. Sox fans come to their feet.
I want to make sure there's no cross-ups here, as Yanner gave him the sign. Now you don't have to go through the sign, just throw what he called. Make sure you don't set up early.
2 on, 2 out. 1-2 the count in a 2-run ball game. He gone. And we still need it 4-2.
with the Sox looking for an insurance run or two.
That's
Make things a whole lot easier.
That's exactly right.
Especially
and Tim Anderson will lead it off. Fouls it back. Tim 0 for 3 in the game. Melky on deck. Abreu in the hole. That's out of play, upper tank. All right, Timmy. Stay with him, buddy. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cubs bullpen up and going. So far, Grimm's got pretty good stuff.
Ball hit sharply. Down nicely. 1 out.
Here's our PNC Bank upcoming schedule, and it's the conclusion of the home and home with the Cubs. Tomorrow here, Wednesday and Thursday at Wrigley Field, and then it's on to Minnesota to take on the Twins Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Here's Melky, 0 for 1 with a couple of walks, and he has scored a run. Started off that 3-run 6 with a 1-out walk and Abreu singled. Then with 2 out, Todd Frasier went over the center field fence for his 29th homer. He now has 67 knocked in. That ball hit hard. Nobody's going to get that one. So he will make the turn and he will pull into second. Now he's going to break it down as they had a little trouble picking it up, but the 1-out double by Cabrera. That's a nice.
Well, that's a big insurance run out there as Melky's been on base 3 times. He drills this ball. No chance at all for Hayward. It's a rolling breaking ball, and Joe Madden trotting to the mound. You'd think he'd want to make a change with Jose Abreu, who has swung the bat pretty well tonight. Melky very happy with himself. Grimm is gone. It looks like Edwards coming in from the pen. So as he comes in, we'll step out, be back after these messages. sweepstakes. You can win one of 16 weekly prizes or a monthly prize pack, as well as an amazing grand prize at the end of the season. Visit whitesox.com/Sox16 for complete details. Time now for the Midas Tire and Auto Service experts call to the pen, and it is C.J. Edwards. No record, 1.93 ERA, on for the 14th time. They got him from the Texas Rangers.
He's got a really nice release. Big arm swing and just a little flick.
He's very talented. When they got him, they didn't know exactly where he would fit. They did know that the arm was major league quality.
All right, 2-0. Six, 370 pounds.
He came from Texas with Mike Olt and pitcher Justin Grimm, and a player to be named later, which turned out to be Neil Ramirez for Matt Garza. Another good trade for the Cubs.
Guessing strike, didn't get it. Gap out there in left center. Bryant well back and well off the line at third. Same for Rizzo at first. And the count 3-1. Ball 4. And here comes Morneau. Well, you know what Morneau's sitting on.
No sense looking for anything else but that fastball he keeps throwing.
Oh, that's it. Prosperity, South Carolina. And there it was. He just flicks it up there at 97. Huge gap in right center. And then makes a pitch like that.
He came up briefly last year, 5 games. But last year was the year they converted him to a full-time relief pitcher.
There's a shot. No. Caught. Ball gets away. No advance. Looked like that ball jumped off the bat and it just deadened when he got here. But hit it right off the end. So a lot of action right there with no advancement.
Didn't get a whole lot of it.
No, he didn't.
No, and Russell goes back, makes the catch. Melky headed toward third, and then fortunately able to get back.
Here's Todd. 1 for 3, but it was a biggie.
Just as we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Here's our Miller moment. A rolling breaking ball rolls out of the park, and that's The margin right now made it 4-0. It's now 4-2. That's 29 home runs. Todd Frasier.
That one at 97 fouled away, and very quickly 0-2 for their guys in the top of the ninth. Schedule hitters are Baez, and then back to the top of the order with Fowler and Chris Bryant, followed by Rizzo. Those 2 walks in the 8th inning do anything to help turning that Cub lineup over.
As you can see, with a thin pen, Matt Albers is coming back.
He's the man. Two and two. So we'll see what Montero wants to do as he hit that breaking ball out of here for the home run. Comes with one and gets him. So we're into the ninth, leading 4-2. Top of the ninth inning, our guys lead it 4-2. Baez, the ninth place hitter, is 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer to lead it off. Outfield straight up, spread out, and that pitch is upper tank souvenir.
First out in the ninth inning with a 2-run lead of vital importance. Sox bullpen is up and going. Canley and Jennings.
That ball hit hard off the fence, so he was on his way to third. Now pulls up, goes back in, so the leadoff double.
Baez awfully strong. He got a high fastball. Albers wanted to keep it down. Got no sink on this one and rolls around in a corner. Baez thinking about third base, but it's a 2-run game. You don't make the first out at third, so he retreats.
Here's Fowler. He's 0 for 4. Four, 6, and 2 for us. 2, 8 and 0 for them. Two and 1. Two balls, 2 strikes.
And Alvarez wasn't looking back, and Baez took advantage of it, stealing it easily. Ninth stolen base in 11 attempts. One look and then home. He times him and takes off.
They're going to give it to you, take it.
Yep.
Right here, the 3-2 pitch. That's off the foot or leg. First of 4 between these two ball clubs. And another one. Ball game.
RBI number 32 for Fowler, takes it down the line. Fortunately, the deflection makes it that Fowler has to stay at first base. Baez scores easily, would have done that anyway.
So there are two big bats coming up. Bryant, Rizzo.
And Alvarez has to keep a close eye on Hayward because he is one of their base stealers, and he's a pretty good one. Fowler, rather, excuse me. Six out of 9 is Dexter Fowler.
Bryant 1 for 4. Had a home run taken away from him on a beautiful catch by Cabrera back in the first inning. Around it over into our dugout.
Pretty amazing that Chris Bryant, 370 at bats, only grounded into 2 double plays.
Tell you what, for a big guy like he is, he runs well.
He can run, yes he can.
One ball, one strike. Outfield straight up, spread out. Come on, Matt, cinch it up, hunker down, buddy. Soft single. Gonna get Fowler. As they throw him out at second base, a big out. Fowler in at third. Huge out right there. Big throw by Melky.
Well, it took a pinpoint throw, but Chris Bryant made a very bad base running play. There's nobody out in the inning. And he gets thrown out at second base. He's got him. Good tag by Saladino. And Bryant is out. Bryant is out. Albers is out. And it stays a 4-3 game. So Dan Jennings comes in with a tying run 90 feet away. And we'll step out and be back.
Rizzo and the Cubs in Game 2 of this Crosstown Classic. Coverage starts at 5 right here on CSN Chicago. Don't miss a minute. Crosstown Classic brought to you by State Farm.
Time now for the Midas Tire and Auto Service experts. Call to the pen. It is Dan Jennings with the infield in at all 4 positions. Jennings on for the 37th time. 3-2, 166. He's facing Anthony Rizzo. Dexter Fowler 90 feet away in a 4-3 game.
First pitch strike. Slider.
Slide in at second base, and you'll see the base blocked off, and then the neck of Bryant twisted around at second base on the collision. They're talking to him to make sure that he's okay.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. Rizzo's way.
3 sacrifice flies for Anthony Rizzo. And Ben Zobrist in the on-deck circle.
Rizzo with 75 RBIs. Big hack. 2-2.
To the breaking ball, right down the middle. Fortunately, Rizzo fouled it back. We'll take a look at the location. Menard's pitch tracks. The 4 pops up in the middle of the plate and down.
Slow, low, hard, high.
Well, love one right in under his hands.
Yep, right underneath him. Time was called.
Get it, but time was called. Timeout. He showed him a high inside fastball. That's when Navarro wanted to go once again. Jennings shook to the slider, and Rizzo was looking for it. Dumped it into left field.
And here comes Coop. 4-4 tie for our guys. Get out of this inning. Be the lower third of the order. Shuck, Navarro, and Saladino, the scheduled hitters.
Number 76 as he reached out. The only way you can get that one is to be looking for it, because that ball was a good 4 inches off the outside corner.
We scored 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 6th. They scored 2 in the 7th and 2 so far here in the 9th. Here's Zobrist. Zobrist has walked twice and grounded to Abreu twice. Very doubtful he's going to do anything. He's 2 for 5 in stolen bases. Outfield slightly to the right.
Thinking about laying it down, because Todd Frasier was back at third, but the pitch was out of the zone.
It was a good thought process. Short lead by Rizzo. Count evens. A ball, a strike with an out here in the top of the ninth.
Rizzo was standing on top of the bag, so that time Dan just wanted to go over there, didn't want to make the pitch.
That ball hit hard in the right field, but we got a man there. 2 out. So here's Contreras.
One of the things you mentioned last inning was the 2 walks in the 8th, rolling that lineup over again.
That killed us.
It rolled
really hurt.
right to the middle of their lineup.
Yep. When you turn that Cub lineup over like that with base on balls, you got a problem. Contreras 1 for 4. Yeah, you get Fowler, Bryant, Rizzo. 5 at bats in the game, and you're flirting with trouble. Checks it up. And the count 3-0.
Jason Hayward in the on-deck circle.
There's one. Might behoove you to come back and get him, Dan. Jason Hayward has faced Jennings 12 times, has 6 hits.
Hayward never wanted to give a whole lot of ground to the left-hand pitchers.
Another pitch. Rizzo on his seconds.
Now we're going to see a pinch runner for Anthony Rizzo. Looks like Matt Caesar, but we'll have to wait and see. Stays alive. It's a changeup away, and he goes that way. It is indeed Matt Caesar. Rizzo will depart the ball game.
Six for 12. First pitch strike. Hayward, a double back in the 6th inning. There's a shank.
Breaks his bat, has to go back, get another.
For the last 20 or 30 minutes or so, most of them been on their feet.
It's great to see this much energy in the ballpark.
Boy.
Second sellout of the year.
Going away. That is foul back. Now the honor. Just have a little chit chat with Jennings.
Addison, Russell in the on deck circle. Very anxious folks around the ballpark on both sides of the equation.
This has been one heck of an exciting game.
Been terrific to this point.
Yeah.
Be a whole lot better getting out of this one.
If we can do that. Full count with Russell on deck. But they tie it up. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Tied at 4.
There you see some high heat inside part of the plate. Throws it right by Hayward, and it's out of the inning. And Jennings, a very happy man. We get a new pitcher coming in for the Cubs. Recently acquired, Mike Montgomery. He was traded when we were in Seattle. 3-4, ERA 2.47. That's in 33 games. He did pitch up in Milwaukee. Gave up a 3-run homer to a left-hander. And he's facing a left-hander to lead it off here in J.B. Shuck. Jason Hayward shifts over from center to right field. Matt Caesar, who came on the pinch run, stays in the game in center field.
And there's ball 1-2. J.B. Shuck, one time Mike Montgomery, one of the highest touted young left-handers to come into the game.
That was with Kansas City.
Yeah, with Kansas City. Yeah. He was, I mean, the pub on him was just unbelievable. That is 96 for a strike. Shuck has struck out and grounded out twice. Once the second, once the short.
And Rizzo left for a pinch runner, so Baez moves to first. Zobrist takes over second.
Remains in the game, so that's good news. I don't like to see anybody get a collision where his neck is involved.
No, especially a wonderful young talent like Chris Bryant.
There's a shot base hit. So a good way to start it.
JB wanted to make sure that the throw came in and there was no bobble because he was thinking about 2 bases. He hit this ball hard. Montgomery throws it up and out over the plate. JB with a very aggressive turn at first base. Then he has to use a slide to put on the brakes as Caesar fields it cleanly, gets it back in. JB hustles back to the bag after the slide. Now watch it here. That's the best way to stop yourself. And you get back.
So here's DeHonor. DeHonor is 0 for 3.
One of the reasons why the Cubs really love Javier Baez, and one of the reasons why they say to this point they're not trading him, is that he can play any position and play it well. Not to mention the fact that now that he's cut down on his strikeouts, that big power plays and he's making more contact.
The bullpen situation, the way it is today around baseball, you've got to have guys like that.
Yeah. Well, and especially when you're talking National League, where you flip-flop your batting order a lot, you have to take your pitchers out. I mean, they really play in the National League.
Fakes the bunt, takes the ball high and away. Four 12-0 for them, 4-7-2 for us. And the count 2-0. Don't help him out.
No, I mean, even if you're thinking about laying it down and that time he pulled the bat back, you got to make sure he throws a strike. That's why Montero is out there to talk with Montgomery.
that will get the job done. Throw to him.
Perfect bunt, leaving Montgomery with only one play. But didn't have much of an angle at that. So Deanna gets the bunt down. He got a strike. Put it on the grass, and Montgomery had the one play.
Now another meeting of the minds at the mound with Tyler Saladino at the plate. He is 1 for 3. Got us on the board back in the third inning with a one-out double, and then came around to score on Adam Eaton's single.
Zopus comes in. They want to figure out, with Adam Eaton in the on-deck circle, what they want to do with Tyler Saladino. Terrell looking over in the dugout to see what Joe Madden wants to do with Tyler Saladino.
Adam Eaton on deck. And Tim Anderson in the hole.
Hayward has a very good and accurate arm in right field. Contreras has a very strong arm in left field.
Pull the string on him right there. Grabs the strike. And very quickly, 2 strikes.
Curveball, able to fight it off. Outfield shading toward right center. Not a good defense if you're going to throw slow curveballs. There's a huge gap in left center.
A big one. A big one. Base hit, yes, yes, here he comes. They're going to wave him around in the ball. Game is over. Tyler Saladino with the base hit. Knocks in J.B. Shuck, and the Sox take it 5-4. Yes. Oh, what a ball game.
I think that's 3 straight games that the Sox have won in the bottom of the 9th inning. You don't see that very often.
No.
And Tyler Saladino battled that at bat, got the high fastball, took it right back up the middle. Matt Caesar, who just came in the game trying to hurry his throw, bobbled it, and that is that. What a ball game.
Wow. Wow.
Take a look at the location. The high fastball, tries to throw it by him. It hits the mound. That's when you thought there was a chance at least for Zobrist to get it. He couldn't. Caesar comes on and cannot catch it cleanly, and the ball game is over. J.B. Shuck scoring without a play. It's been a long time since I've seen 3 in a row, 1 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
I can't remember one.
Nope.
And it's great. I'll tell you what, it's great to see as much. Austin Jackson, we really missed him, but J.B. Shuck has really done a heck of a job.
I mean, as he's gotten more at bats and played steadily, he's come up with some huge hits, none bigger than the leadoff base hit against the lefty in the 9th inning.
And right now, let's go down to Sierra with Tyler Saladino.
All right, Tyler, what did you just tell me right before that at-bat?
I told myself right before the pitch, to see yourself getting it done. In the moment, you never know what you could be thinking. Right there, I was just trying to see myself getting that job done, one way or another.
How did it feel to get a walk-off in a game that's this type of importance to the city of Chicago?
Yeah, this one stands out. This one is definitely at the top, for sure. I
can see your adrenaline still pumping. You made your debut in a crosstown cup. What's the magnitude of this series all about?
This is the life of Chicago.
That was Todd Frasier. He was pretty quick on that one. Congratulations, Tyler.
Thank you very much.
Go get dried off. Guys, we'll send it back to you upstairs.
All you can ask for in a game like this against your crosstown rival is to have a good game and come out on top. This wasn't the best played game the Sox have had, but it's as exciting as anything they've had, and what a finish to this one.
And what a job by Miguel Gonzalez, our starter, in case you missed it. All right. So for my partner, Steve Stone, our director, Todd Benjaminson, our future producer, Hall of Famer, Mike Leary, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our very fine technical manager, Mark Harper. Also for Mike Mayer, Wynn Griffiths, Doug Bowler down the sound, and the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, and the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Yes.